Hello from beautiful Orlando, Florida. I'm here at YWAM Orlando teaching their first ever Bible School for the Nations on the life of Jesus. Been having an awesome week so far. But this video isn't about this teaching week. It's actually about the kids' outreach to Nicaragua, Eliana's first outreach, Cole's second international outreach. And I just wanted to, first of all, just say thank you to all of you who have been praying for our funds, for our outreach, and also those of you who have given. We have been absolutely blown away by your generosity. I can't even tell you how blown away we are. So this Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Time, we're going to do a little live stream event with the kids. They don't know how much has come in. And one of my hopes for this outreach is that they get to see how much God is for them and how much He is still the same today as He was yesterday, that He is their provider, even as He's provided for Monica and I so many years in missions. So we'll do a little reveal event where we'll start peeling off sticky notes Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'd invite you to join in with us and kind of see how much has come in. I wanted to share the story with you of how we decided to do this outreach. And the story goes back to last December. For those of you who don't know, 2020 represented 60 years since Youth with a Mission had been founded. And we were having a big celebration in Kona, Hawaii. Because of COVID, most people couldn't go in person. We were streaming in from all over the world. There was something in the neighborhood of like 80,000 people who streamed in from close to 200 nations. And I was one of those. I was streaming in from Madison, Wisconsin. And it was around day 2 or day 3 of this special celebration that Darlene Cunningham, our co-founder, was having a special open panel discussion with her son and her granddaughter. And the topic was families and missions and how to see the DNA passed from one generation to the next, how to see every member of the family as valuable and able to contribute in a missions context and really use the gifts that God has given them. And leading into this open panel discussion, there was a time of worship, and then there was a special dance. And it was in the dance, actually, that God really got a hold of my heart. The dance was a song by Dante Bowe called The Voice of God. And I'd love to show you that here before I really tell you what God did in me as I was watching this happen.
I can hear it in the crackle of a bonfire, and I can hear it in the middle of the ocean water. Oh, I just can't explain, but it makes me wanna cry. And I can hear it when the rain falls on my windowsill, on a playground where children's laughter lives. Oh, I can't explain, but it makes me wanna cry. And I can hear it in the busy New York City streets, and I can hear it in the country Georgia fields of green. Oh, I can't explain, no, but it makes me wanna cry. Sounds like grandmama telling you where you come from. Said it's kinda like laughter out of the mouths of your loved ones, or catching up with an old friend, reminiscing on back when. It's like a summertime sprinkler, street side with my ice cream cone. Said it sounds like a choir singing hymns, hallelujah. It's the voice of God. Hell, it can make a grown man cry. And I can hear it on the wind of an early morning, when the fog is getting thick and the birds are chirping. Oh, it's just something I can't explain, no, but it makes me wanna cry. And I can hear it in the hush of a midnight hour, when I'm alone in my room if I'm going under. Oh, I just can't explain, no, but it brings me back to life. one. Yeah, like the final breath of a loved one passing. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, 'cause it leads me to the light. It's like a drive-through movie. Small town with the big screen. Like grilling out in the front yard. Sometimes it's the simple things, like storytelling with my grandpa. He was so easy to believe. Like when the sun goes up, yeah. Sometimes it's better when the sun comes down. 'Cause there's just something about the moonlight, and it can make you feel alright. Oh, it's the voice of God, and it can make a grown man cry. Yet again, it's the voice of God. It can make a grown man cry.
Voice of God is the voice of God. Voice of God is the voice of God.
Sing it again. Say, oh, you can hear if you want to.
Voice of God
If you want it, you
is
got
the
it.
voice of God.
You can hear his voice right now. It's not coming how you spoke to your mother. He may not come how you spoke to your father. He wants a new thing. He wants a new thing. Oh,
Voice of God.
they come differently this time.
Voice of God.
Time say,
Voice of God
oh yeah,
is the voice of God.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
So the reason that dance hit me so hard is because that's where I got my start in missions. I was 9 years old when I did my first mission trip apart from my parents. I'd already done some with my parents before that. But my first mission trip apart from them was called King's Kids. And it was a group of kids. We went touring from Texas up to Chicago and around different places. And we would perform different songs. We'd share testimonies. We'd preach. And there were some really special moments that happened during that season of my life. So while we were in Chicago, we were performing one day, kind of on a street corner in the streets, and we were performing alongside a School of Evangelism team that was doing a big performance of Toymaker and Son, for those who remember that musical back in the day. And we did our performance. We shared our testimonies, and I remember when the performances were done, there was this kid that was standing off near the back, and God was really stirring my heart to go talk to him, and so I grabbed my buddy Chad, and Chad and I went over to him, and we began to talk to him. We began to share with him about how God had been sharing with us his love, and Jesus was our best friend, and did he want to have Jesus as his best friend? And I remember he was so intrigued by who Jesus was, and so he wanted Jesus to come into his heart, and so we led him through this time of repenting of his sins and giving his life to Jesus, and it was really special for me. And after our whole outreach was done, I think it was about a 2-week outreach, touring around the U.S., we came back to our YWAM base in Tyler, Texas, and we're having a time of sharing testimonies. There's a few hundred YWAMers there to hear our testimonies from the outreach, and parents and other people too. And I remember there was a big line of us kids getting up there and sharing the stories of what had happened on outreach. And I remember grabbing that mic and sharing the story about this little kid who'd met Jesus, and there was such a boldness in me that filled my heart that I really think was the Holy Spirit filling my heart. And as I finished sharing the testimony, I looked out at the audience and I pointed at them and I said, and if we can do it, you can do it. And I remember everybody stood and was cheering, and that marked me. And that's what I want for my kids. I want moments where they see God be their God. Not their dad's God, not their mom's God, not their grandparents' God, not their pastor's God, not their friend's God, but their God. And to see God through them sharing his heart with others. And so God was reminding me of that as I was watching this dance on the voice of God. And as I'm laying there and crying out for my kids, that's what was filling my heart, was this desire for them to have those kinds of experiences. And I knew that the summers were going to be important seasons. I just had this sense that we really needed to start doing intentional outreaches for them to have opportunity to share and to form their own testimonies of how they met God, how God provided for them, and how they shared his love with others. And so I'm praying for a long time, and as I'm praying, all of a sudden, like the heaviness, the weight, the repenting, it lifts, and in its place there's like this joy that hit my heart that I don't even know how to describe, but it felt like my heart was going to burst. It felt like my heart was expanding and it just couldn't hold it all in. And stood up from the ground and for a long time was just worshiping and thanking God and just loving on Jesus. And eventually had to go pick up my kids from school. And I remember picking them up, sharing with them the story. And I just like the love, that the joy was still there in my heart. And so I'm like affirming to them my love for them and sharing with them how much I love them. And I just can't say it enough. And from there, we began to talk about outreach and missions and sharing Bibles with people and sharing testimonies and leading people to the Lord. And Cole, I haven't even really shared this story yet with Cole about when I was a kid. But he one day, as we're driving home from school, he's like, "Daddy, I have some ideas for a teaching, and I have these different things that I want to put in a teaching." And a couple days later, he was sharing with me about our Nicaragua trip, and he said, "Hey, Daddy, when we're on the trip, do you think I can lead somebody to the Lord? Because I know how." I love the simple faith of kids, where Jesus says, "Become like these kids." And so there's our story, a little bit behind the trip. We're super excited to do this outreach where it's really an opportunity for the kids to see God become their God. Again, thank you for your prayers. Thank you so much to all of you who've given and blessed us. And we know as we go out, there's such a large group of people that really make missions possible. And we're so grateful for every one of you. God bless you guys. Hope you can join us Saturday night at 7 as we do a live stream event revealing all the wonderful generosity that's come in, and hopefully my kids are a little shocked as they get to start peeling off stuff too. So I think we'll get some good reactions for sure, probably from Eliana. Cole's a little more reserved in his reactions, but his heart is reacting big, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks again. God bless you guys.